There are three types of wind: surface wind, gradient wind, and geostrophic wind. In order to understand geostrophic wind, look at these two pictures. Isobars are the lines that connect areas of equal pressure on a surface map. For example, the image on the right displays concentric circles around an area of low pressure. Geostrophic wind occurs when the Coriolis force and the pressure gradient force are balanced. As you can see in the two images here, the gradient wind is blowing parallel to the isobars because the pressure gradient force and the Coriolis force are equal. This balance between the two forces is called the geostrophic balance. Geostrophic wind is rare because in nature it is not often that there is a balance between the Coriolis force and the pressure gradient force. This is because friction interferes with the geostrophic balance. Geostrophic wind is technically only possible when there is no friction and the wind is blowing parallel to the isobars. Thus, a lot of times geostrophic wind occurs in the upper atmosphere, where friction does not affect the geostrophic balance as much. Here's a fun fact. Did you know that if it weren't for geostrophic wind, then the low-pressure systems in the northern hemisphere wouldn't spin counterclockwise, and the low-pressure systems in the southern hemisphere wouldn't do the exact opposite and spin clockwise? Now, here's a historical perspective. In 1934, on Mount Washington, a record-breaking wind speed was recorded at 232 miles per hour. This seemed impressive to everyone. But 62 years later, this record was broken. In 1996, on Barrow Island, Australia, Cyclone Olivia struck with massive force. Winds reached a destructive 253 miles per hour. Cyclone Olivia caused massive damage to Barrow Island and to oil rigs in the ocean. Olivia is proof of how destructive high wind speeds can be on society. For one thing, everyone in an area with high wind speeds is risking their life. The wind can destroy infrastructure and blow the roof off a house very easily. Not only does high wind take a toll on human, animal, and vegetation life, but it also takes a toll on the economy. Paying for the damages caused by the wind can be rough, with damage costs reaching millions. No one wants to be the victim of high wind speeds.